next up, I want to get into the hot take. And I prepared a little better this time. And wait a minute, I'm seeing that part of my stuff was not. There we go. Okay, it was deleted somehow. Oh my goodness. So let's get into the hot take for today, all right? Which is toxic beauty trends. Toxic beauty trends is the hot take for today. I almost got into this last week, but I didn't feel like my mind was in a clear enough place for me to clearly communicate how I feel about this topic. So I prepared today and I actually wrote out some of my thoughts on this hot take of toxic beauty trends. I didn't get to completely finish my thought, but I hope that I can pick up for myself where I left off. And so first off, what are toxic beauty trends? Toxic beauty trends are trends that have placed unrealistic beauty standards on women, considered to be the most beautiful or the most desirable features at the time, right? The current beauty standards that we see these days, especially for what I call the female rapper starter kit, includes a nice body, big butt, slim waist, big chest, really the hourglass figure look that everybody's chasing after. You gotta have the Fashion Nova clothes where the material is thin and barely there, just covering all the private parts you don't want exposed, but you're honestly baiting attention and you're drawing attention to those parts of your body that supposedly don't want to be exposed. But there's the full lips, the defined cheekbones, super long glued on ultra 3D mink extension lashes, painted on eyebrows, and a glued down wig with crazy baby hairs, right? There's definitely a look every woman is starting to have on social media. And when I listed off a few of those features, I know a few names and images popped into your head. And I almost forgot to mention the drawn in abs, if you can afford to get that done, with the weird looking belly button. It's just a whole host of things that are included in this aesthetic that's become so popular on social media and what everyone is starting to look like, what every woman is starting to look like. I have a real issue with the way beauty standards have been established for women, especially in the last 5 years or so. I'm not sure why there's suddenly a blueprint of how women are expected to look, and this blueprint is considered to be the most desirable look, at least in the Black entertainment spaces. Black people have always loved women with big butts and small waists. It used to be called being slim thick. But I remember in the 90s how all women were celebrated and shown in music videos. There were always women of different shapes and different shades. The main girl in the video wasn't always some crazy built chick with a crazy body with crazy proportions. But if she was in the video and she had that kind of body, she was all natural, and that was her actual body. These days, every rap video has a big booty chick that looks just like that. That's the look that goes with the starter kit of the rapper these days. The starter kit for female rapper is the starter kit that goes in the music videos for the rappers these days. The part that's toxic about these beauty trends, though, is the mindsets that I notice come with them. I am not shaming any woman for wanting to get her body done. Well, I am going to shame you a little bit. I'm not going to, though. It's not in my intention to have to shame somebody for wanting to look a certain way and wanting to use surgery as a means of doing it. But I'll tell you right now, I am judging you. I do believe people have the right to get surgery if they want it. But I'll also say that in this time we're living in, where everyone is chasing instant gratification, I am judging you if you're getting unnecessary surgery because you want to look a certain way. Because when you get surgery, to me, that says that you want to jump the line. You want to take the shortcut. You don't want to put in the work that comes with getting a body like that. Although honestly, a lot of y'all can get delusional and don't want to accept and work with the bodies you were born with. Realistically, a lot of us will never be able to get the body that is the current accepted aesthetic right now, because that's just how genetics work. You're never going to look a certain way. That's literally how genetics works, right? So the mindset that I feel is toxic, and the reason why these beauty trends are toxic is because of the mindset that comes along with it. It's instant gratification. It is an unwillingness or a belief that you can't work hard for something and get it. And you're literally risking your life to undergo a procedure that is unnecessary. But the kicker to me is you still have to diet and work out to maintain the augmentation that you got done to your body. That's the part that really irritates me. So while you think you're out here skipping the line, while you think you're out here somehow getting ahead, if you don't create the habits that it takes to become successful, essentially, that's what I'm getting at here. If you don't create the habits that it takes to maintain this, you're going to have a really hard time keeping that body. And that's why you see women go back for the second and the third round of a BBL, a Brazilian butt lift, because they did not put in place the habits that it took to maintain a body like this. And so I think there's a deeper metaphor in that. I think there's a deeper metaphor for what we're seeing with this. And like I said, the reason why it's toxic is because it's telling women that you're not good enough the way you are. And realistically, that's not what's being said. But when a certain body type, when a certain aesthetic is getting more attention over other aesthetics and other body types, then yes, like, and I hate how the women lie, like, oh, I'm not doing this for a man. I'm doing this because I want to look pretty. But you feel pretty because you haven't been getting the attention from the men that you want. And I wish more women would be more honest about that. I wish more women would be more honest about that. You are doing this because you know that a certain look will get you attention, and that attention is going to get you in certain rooms, or that attention is going to get you certain men who you feel will provide certain things for you because you look the way you do. And there's just so many layers to this conversation of the toxic beauty trends. To go to, you know, the point of it being instant gratification, right? Instant gratification, you're not putting in, like I said, you're not putting in the work to get the body naturally on your own. And there's delusion that goes into that because you're not accepting that you were just given certain tools. This is just how you came into the world. So what you're telling yourself is that you're not willing to work with what you have because you feel like what you have is not enough. But realistically, what you have is enough if you would just choose to find out what are the strengths that you have within what you already possess. So you're not having to go outside of yourself to find things that are going to make you feel accepted and make you feel beautiful. And, you know, these things that you think are going to attract things into your life. But the negative part of these beauty trends that people don't talk about, once you get all the work done, you're getting more attention, but it's not even the type of attention that you want. It's more physical attention. You know, people want you for how you look. People want you for the trophy that you are presenting to be. That's really what you become in a lot of these situations. And it's a lot of unintended sexual energy that you attract when you get this body type. The Radically says tricking men too, because the genetics don't lie. And I'm probably going to get hate for this, but this is why it's called a hot take. And this is, I want to act more impulsively these days and speak my mind these days. Honestly, I hate it because anybody can buy your body, and anybody can buy your body. I had to stop on that because I feel like that's deep. Anybody can buy your body. And I think it is a very dangerous time for us to be in when you feel like you can't enhance what you already have. When you feel like you don't want to put in the work to make better what you were provided with. Instead, you're chasing something that is not even supposed to be there. And then you end up living this cycle where you have to keep trying to maintain it. You got to keep spending the money. You got to keep going back to get the surgeries because this foreign thing was never supposed to be on your body in the first place. Versus building up your muscles, versus eating properly, versus sleeping properly, versus drinking water, versus not going to Juicy Crab 5 times a week, you know, versus, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the danger with having a body that can be bought, anybody can buy it. I get irritated. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get deep into it, but I get irritated with the fact that anybody can buy the body, because then your identity as a woman gets questioned. And y'all know where I'm headed with that conversation. Anybody can look like you because anybody can buy certain aesthetics. Why would you want to be? And then the thing that you were chasing to stand out, to get more attention, now you're falling right in line with everything else. And when you are undergoing trying to chase these toxic beauty trends, you lose your individuality and you lose the confidence. A lot of people think that you get these surgeries and you gain the confidence that comes with it. You really get more and more insecure because it was never about what you looked like on the outside. It was always about the fact that you never felt like you were good enough as you were. So you kept adding things on and adding things on until you realized, I can't keep spending money to feel better. When am I going to be able to just feel good with myself? And that's the dangerous part of it all. You're not going to feel good about yourself if you feel like you have to put add-ons onto your body. The Radically says below 30, the prize is the body. Above 30, the prize is the mind. Yeah. But that lack of self-confidence is really going to get y'all because you also have not, like I said, you haven't developed the discipline to work out and to eat right to maintain the body. It's going to get worse when you get those add-ons. It's going to get worse. And the dedication and the discipline that it takes to build upon what you already have or to start from scratch and build upon what you want to have, you are missing out on a key process that is going to make you successful, on a key process that's going to make you appealing to the kind of men that you want in the first place, right? You want the so-called high value man, but you haven't developed your mind in a way that would allow you to stand in a room with these men and say, I am valuable no matter what you think I look like. I love my mind. I love what I have to work with. And anything that I'm brought into, I enhance. I don't need anything outside of myself to enhance me. Do you know how attractive that is to a lot of men? That's the confidence that I find is often lacking with a lot of these women who get their bodies built and added on. And they'll try to cover it up and say, well, you know, at least I'm not a broke bitch. At least I got money. You just mad because you can't buy this body. No, I'm not mad that I can't buy the body. I'm mad that you're giving me a bad name. And as a woman, you're supposed to be a reflection of me. What are you out here telling people? But anyway, I've already ranted too long. That's my hot take on the toxic beauty trends. Long story short, when you take a shortcut to make yourself look good physically, what else are you taking shortcuts on in life? And that's where I'm going to leave that hot take. So please stick around because after these messages, we are going to get into the Lex chat. Stay tuned.